Could Obama be a Muslim? If you take a look at the evidence, it's going to show you that he's a Muslim more so than he's a Christian or ever was a Christian, if he's a Christian at all. This is the Shikama Live Show with your host Shikama, produced by Balance Enterprise in association with www.LasVegasNevadaDUI.com. Now, the mainstream American media tends not to report anything that goes against actually both parties, really. They hide far more things than what they show. We are already of the opinion and are convinced that there is absolutely no journalism left in the United States at all. And this is spreading through Europe, through South America, through the Middle East, and Africa is just not even really paid attention to anyway. So what's the evidence I'm talking about? I would like for you to pay attention to a few speeches given by some people that we, or the mainstream media has told us, are our staunchest, or have been our staunchest enemies. I refer you to a speech given by Muammar Gaddafi when then Senator Obama was running for the presidency. And he said, and I quote, "We must stand firm with our brother in Islam that he wins the presidency and we can then get something done." It was in terms of bringing about peace. All of the Middle Eastern countries called to give their support, and after he won, they called again to give their congratulations. The leader that was told to hate from Iran did the same exact thing in a speech given at the UN. Said this almost nearly the same words. Our brother in Islam, yada, 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 Obama. Gadaffi again at a later Arab conference said, our Kenyan brother. Many African leaders said the same exact thing. Our Kenyan brother. When they started talking about birth certificates and where he was born and saying that he was Hawaiian and he was in Hawaii, the African leaders were very concerned, a little bit shocked, and quite a bit confused, because the town that supposedly Obama was born in now bears all sorts of accolades to Obama and his father and the family, and saying that like Graceland is to Elvis Presley. They're saying, oh, this is the birthplace of Barack Obama, President of the United States. They are not privy to or conscious of the fact that you cannot be born in another country and be president of the United States. Now, as far as Gaddafi is concerned, I already went over a video outlining why exactly we went into Libya, and it wasn't about anything Gaddafi did or anything that he did wrong, or anything that he did wrong to his people, but it was for dollars and the IMF and the World Bank and Wall Street. That's why we went in there and killed him with so-called Al-Qaeda terrorists, and I'll do a video about how the word Al-Qaeda is completely false and fake and not real, and that there are literally no terrorists on the planet, as far as the United States is concerned. Him constantly repeating our Muslim brother, our Kenyan brother, obviously did not help his case in staying alive with the complete corruption that is on Capitol Hill. Al Jazeera, which has now been usurped and taken over and bought out, used to actually report some news. They carried all of Gaddafi's speeches and showed him saying our Muslim brother, our Kenyan brother, because Gaddafi considers himself or considered himself African. So he felt a special bond to Obama because of being Muslim and being African, being Kenyan. And this is not conspiracy. This is actual speech, verifiable. Just go look it up. It has nothing to do with anything. Now, why is this important? And that's the real question you need to ask. My channel is for black people, so I'm mainly talking to black people. Why is this important? I'm not white, so I'm obviously not racist against Obama or bigoted against Obama for being half black or whatever. Why is it important where he was born and if he's a Muslim? Ostensibly, theoretically, we could have a Muslim president, right? If they did some groundwork and said Muslims are just as screwed up as Jews, Christians, and I don't know, Shintoists. I don't know who. Hindus. That's like what. There's more people worshiping Hinduism than there are in any other country, any single country. Well, there's more Indians than there are people in countries, except for China, right? And I think China is partially Hindu too, so if they're not completely secular and non-religious. Why is it important? It's important because Obama was the perfect storm for the controlling families, the moneyed elite of the world who are trying to take over the world. United States is the last man standing. Really, virtually the U.S. All of the hicks, rednecks, white trash, black people, immigrants, yuppies, New Englanders, all of those people, Chicagoites, the Detroit mess, the New Orleans mess, the Floridians, the Californians with their mess, all of them are standing in the way of the moneyed elite with all of their ignorance and all of their pettiness and all of their sheep-minded going on about their business throughout the day. They are still not beholden to the world power or the world moneyed elite. And try as they might, even the Federal Reserve only has like 70% control of the banks. And there is another private banking consortium that is not the Federal Reserve and does everything that the Federal Reserve, but it's in private hands and it's understood to be private, and a lot of banks do business with them. That includes credit checks and check cashing and so forth, check refunds and all that sort of stuff. Banking, regular banking stuff. Obama was the perfect storm. He brought in Wall Street. And he brought in the Middle East. The perfect storm. He brought in Africa. All of the African leaders were praising Buddha or Mugabe or whoever Africans worship. All of the Muslims were praising Allah, and in Islam, all of Wall Street was praising the almighty dollar for Obama. He is the perfect storm. Him ignoring Congress, him ignoring the Supreme Court, sets himself up to be dictator of the entire world. Now, we're not talking about he's Hitler. We're talking about he's a puppet on a string. All of the evidence shows that this man is or was a Muslim. And that's why this is important. Because he brings into himself the perfect marriage of the entire world. Him being Kenyan makes him a citizen, what do you call it? A subject of Her Highness Queen Elizabeth of Great Britain. He is the perfect storm. Now it has come to light that Obama is related along with every president except for James Garfield. I might have that wrong. Every president except for one are all related and all descendants of the kings of England. Obama is related to Bush. Obama is related to Clinton. Obama is related to Nixon and Roosevelt and FDR and Kennedy. The perfect storm. So, black people, when you hear somebody says, is he Kenyan? Is he Muslim? You can know in your heart, regardless of what how that person might actually feel about Obama, the evidence points that he is. He is in fact Kenyan, not American. He is in fact Muslim, not Christian. Now, I will say this, and they said, oh, but he went to Reverend Wright's church for all those years. I used to belong to one of the largest Black Baptist churches in the United States. And we had politicians who belonged to the church, and we saw them exactly when you're supposed to see them, which was at election time or town hall meeting. That's it. They were not, of course, the richest people in the congregation. And that's why they belong there, because they needed the rich black people to support them, to donate to their campaigns. And they went to church about as often as a Jack Mormon or a Jack Catholic, or, the Catholic that goes to church on Easter. And that's about it. Easter and Christmas. That's how often I saw them in church. Obama saying that he was in church every Sunday? No. Didn't happen. I don't even have to even ponder upon that. If he was in office, well, how did he have time to go to church on Sundays? He's knee-deep in 2 phone calls all day long on Sundays, getting prepared for Monday. You can't fool all the people all the time. So, Obama is the perfect storm. I don't have to even, it's not even a conspiracy. You don't have to look at his birth record. You don't have to check all of that. Forget that stuff. The world leaders said that. Now, how serious is it that a world leader says that? It's so serious that over in Asia, 2 prime ministers said something on international TV and wound up dead within a week. One talked about, I forget what she talked about, but the other one said that Bin Laden had died in 2000. Specifically, she said 11 years ago. This was, and she was dead within days. That's how serious it is when one of these leaders tells the truth. So, when Gadaffi, when Ahmadinejad, I'm sure I murdered that, when the Kenyans, when the Saudis say stuff at the UNs and at the All Arabia, at the African National Congress, when they say these things, first of all, they're not going to be just getting up saying lies. They're going to have, they do research and they have little underlings that look up stuff just like everybody else. When they say these things, they are true. You just have to go look up the speeches. You don't have to check a birth certificate. Yes, we've had 5 different forensic scientists look at the birth certificate and say it's fake. I don't have to look at the birth certificate. I paid attention to international politics. I've paid attention to UN speeches. I've paid attention to UNC speeches, or African National Congress speeches. I've paid attention to the all Islam or all Arab speeches. I've paid attention to that stuff. Them saying our Kenyan brother, our Muslim brother. Black people, do not get in between Obama and the people coming after him, because they have a legitimate claim. He has done absolutely nothing for you. Black wealth decreased by 30%. White people jump out of windows for a 3% drop. I'm being honest. I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but white people jump out of windows for a 3% drop in their wealth. 3. Black wealth went down 30%. 30% since Obama has been in office. Since. Now, don't say that, oh, that was because of Bush. No, this was 2-3 years after he was in office. A president of the United States does not rely upon anything that a former president of the United States does. That includes Barack Obama. Bush didn't rely on anything that Clinton did. Clinton didn't rely on anything that Bush Sr. did. Bush Sr. didn't rely on anything that, Reagan did? Carter. What did Carter inherit? And never once did he blame anybody else. And who came after Carter? He didn't blame anybody else either. It's only until you get to Obama that he starts whining about, oh, it was all Bush's fault. The Bush is not in office, sir. You're the president of the United. You're the most powerful man in the world. Really? Are you going to stoop to blaming somebody else? Are you a president or are you a third grader? Anyway, leave a comment, subscribe, share this video. Share this video so every black person can see this video. Share this video. This is the video black people need to see. Was Obama Muslim? Or is he Muslim? I believe he is. He grew up Muslim. First of all, we already know he grew up Muslim. That's not even in question. He grew up in Muslim countries. That's not even a debate. There is no like, well, he could have said, no. He grew up a Muslim. This all of a sudden things when he is 35? 32? When he goes to Chicago and runs for whatever? Politics. 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 This is the same guy that was ranting against the United States of America federal government. This is a guy who, what was it, called action in his, community. What is it, community organizer? Organizes community against the federal government. This is the same guy. Black people, do not be fooled by this guy. He is not your friend. He's not my friend. Alright, thank you for watching Shikama Live Show. Please subscribe and like the video.